I think I was a cowboy in a past life. Either that, or I just love Red Dead Redemption. It was recently ported to the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch, and I found myself playing it the moment it was re-released. I play a lot of video games, but none capture me quite like Rockstar's games. Sure, they're milking the cash cow of Grand Theft Auto 5 now, but 10 years ago they were the world's best video game company. Why? Not because of the admittedly pedestrian gameplay or the now commonplace open worlds, but because of the great character writing.
I'm afraid those aren't my plans. See, I already have a life. Well, I had one and I'm trying to reclaim it. Or maybe what you could say is that I had two and I'm trying to end one of them so the other can survive.
You do so love to talk in riddles, Mr. Marston. Do you do that, I wonder, as a substitute for having anything interesting to say?
And inspired atmosphere of their games. Red Dead Redemption specifically excels in these two areas. Building on a century of fantastic Western cinema, it is one of the few games where a person can just exist in the world Rockstar created. The soundscape, score, and barren landscape evoke the lonely, melancholic life of John Marston, a rancher and former gang member, as he comes to terms with his violent past and how it's caught up with him. Members of a government organization use his past against him, and blackmailing him into hunting down gang members he used to ride with in exchange for his family's safety. The Western myth is so familiar to everyone through pop culture osmosis, yet very few people have checked out the genre's history. It's no longer a popular genre like it was 60 or 70 years ago, due to the oversaturation of the films in that period. In John Wayne's time, the genre was bankable, yet it was dying by the time Clint Eastwood started portraying the man with no name in the Dollars trilogy, though these films also kicked off a revisionist interpretation of the genre. Supposedly, Eastwood wanted to work with Wayne following the release of his sophomore film as director titled High Plains Drifter, but Wayne was so conservative that he penned a letter to Eastwood saying that High Plains Drifter wasn't really about the people who pioneered the West. While true, Eastwood was more interested in exploring the hypocrisy of civilization, condemning individuals who commit acts of violence, yet endorsing the violence of the state. Wayne was a man out of time, much like the characters portrayed in his films. The final nail in the coffin for the genre was arguably Mel Brooks's fantastic satire Blazing Saddles, which was released in 1974.
Splendid! That's all right. Shh, it's all right, Taggart. Just a man and a horse being hung out there. Shh.
Brooks approached Wayne on the Warner Brothers studio lot, where another Western, Cahill U.S. Marshal, starring Wayne, was being shot. Although Wayne loved Brooks's directorial debut, The Producers, he read the script for Blazing Saddles and said he had an image to uphold, and couldn't star in a rough and raw film that used the N-word or low-down dirty talk.
All right, sir.
Work. Hello, boys. Have a good night's rest. I missed you.
It's hard to imagine anyone but Gene Wilder as Jim, the role that Wayne was originally approached to play, especially since Wayne was quite old at that point. There have been a few great westerns since Blazing Saddles killed the genre. A number of Clint Eastwood films, such as Unforgiven, come to mind. The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, and the Coen brothers' remake of True Grit are also highlights. I also have a soft spot for Tarantino's The Hateful Eight, and even Gore Verbinski's The Lone Ranger, despite the controversy of Johnny Depp's casting as a Native American. Rango is a masterwork of animated comedy too, and the first season of Westworld, we don't talk about the subsequent seasons, uses Western iconography to suggest humanity's time is up. I only wish they could have cast Clint Eastwood as a man in black like they originally wanted to. Ironically, the genre has been lost to time, much like the protagonists of these stories. Where Red Dead Redemption succeeds is the atmosphere. When I played it non-stop as a 17-year-old in 2013, I would just travel across the landscape, occasionally stopping to play poker or hunt animals. Naturally, I've never done any of these things in real life, but in the game they feel authentic. The storyline is incredible too, but the evocative soundscape and music brings tears to my eyes in how immersive they are. I feel like I'm one with the land when I play that game, and the natural beauty of the graphics hasn't been sullied by the passage of time. Ultimately, Red Dead Redemption owes a debt to one of the most existential and evocative cinematic genres. I wish the genre was still successful, but I suppose that makes me a man out of time too. The past haunts humanity, but time marches on.